Hey, my name is Kirsten Plotkin. I'm a 73-year-old grandmother. I'm told that at my age I should just enjoy my retirement, but then I wouldn't be me. You see, I know a few things nobody else will tell you. It'll be a couple of decades before it becomes common knowledge. Because you're here, I will assume you have a weight problem. Most people do. That means you're affected by a number of things that nobody wants you to find out about. First, you don't actually have a weight problem, you have an addiction problem. You've become addicted to fake processed foods and drinks loaded with sugar. Sure, today we're modern, adaptable people in spirit, but our digestive system is not. Along with the rest of our body, it has remained unchanged for eons. We're forcing our body to digest processed foods it hasn't evolved to understand. The fact is, the human body does not adapt. It evolves, and evolution is a very slow process. I promise to prove to you that you have a food addiction, and I'll teach you how to get rid of it. An addiction is an unstoppable, consistent hunger for a substance, in this case processed foods. They rule your life. Food addiction has the same symptoms and consequences as drugs, tobacco, and alcohol. If you don't cure your addiction, it will probably kill you. How? It can lead to morbid obesity, diabetes type 2, colon, bowel cancer, and heart disease. How do I know all this stuff? Let me tell you my own story. It began when I was around 43. Till then, I never had a weight problem, neither had any of my family members or friends. Weight problems were simply not an issue till around 40 years ago. That's when we had a worldwide media scare campaign about cholesterol. Millions of people were encouraged to give up our natural diet and replace it with lots of new, modern, processed foods. Around that time, I went into hospital for a minor overnight procedure. Something went terribly wrong, and I suffered a cardiac arrest. My heart stopped. Among other things, my thyroid was damaged. The doctor said I would have to be on a special diet for the rest of my life. I had deep reservations about the new diet, the so-called food pyramid. I knew some of the people involved, and I knew they had simply reversed our traditional diet and called it a cure for high cholesterol. My doctor assured me the dietitian was the best. She would design a special diet for me, so I agreed. That decision was to cost me a 20-year struggle against an ever-growing weight problem. I was constantly hungry. My food cravings never stopped. I felt like my entire life was controlled by food. When you have a major upset to your health, you get scared. You become more receptive to medical advice. So I followed the new diet to the letter. If I hadn't been so blindly obedient, I would have quickly recognized the special diet as nothing but the food pyramid. I realized the more I dieted, the fatter I got. But new diets were now being offered almost daily. So I tried them all in search of the one magic diet that would work. I finally came to my senses. I began to think of all the things I'd known for years, but almost forgotten. As I put my puzzle together, I asked myself a few questions I should have asked from the beginning. Why, till I was 43, did I manage to stay slim and healthy without diets or advice from so-called experts? The same applied to my family, friends, people around me. I realized that a complete new pseudoscience had developed around our food. It was created by the food industry and promoted by the weight loss industry. I clearly remembered the events that diverted us from the food our grandma taught us, when only sick people had to diet. Instead, we live in this new modern age when everyone has to diet. When we reversed our food, we lost our natural instincts. We no longer recognized the food our body needed to keep us healthy. The change of diet opened the floodgates for the food industry to proceed to replace all our natural foods for processed substitutes. Is it any wonder we all diet? We're all getting fat and we're all obsessed with food. It's killing us. Do you know what makes me angry? How about the world's biggest industry profiting from an addiction they themselves have created, and nobody's prepared to stop them? This is the tobacco industry all over again. Once I could see clearly what had happened, I realized I had to find a permanent solution to my weight problem. A few years earlier, I had made a similar decision to cure my 2 packs a day cigarette addiction. If I could stop my smoker's addiction, I had no doubt I could cure my food addiction. This was my eureka moment. It set me on the road to cure my food addiction and lose the weight for good. That was 10 years ago. By then, I had learned how to control my weight and nurture back the instincts I had lost. I realized I would have to design a system that would get the same result for everyone. I want to ask you a very important question. What do you really want your life to be? Whatever it is, a healthy, lean body has to be near the top of the list. Without it, everything else becomes second rate. Deep down, we all know diets don't work. That's what makes the Diet Terminator so unique. You will not be dieting or cutting down on food. This is not a numerical diet. It is a revival of our natural approach to food, the way it always used to be, just as nature intended. You'll cure your food addiction and the weight loss will simply follow. It took me 20 years to come to my senses, to stop listening to others and start thinking logically. The answer was right there, hidden in my past experience. The Diet Terminator will get you the results you have always wanted. Just read the membership details below and take the trial. I can promise you, you won't regret it.